we first were in the hospital, in the state hospital, working with institutionalized people, we thought maybe there were a few people that could leave. And the shift over the years in terms of our own vision for the possibilities of people with disability and their families taking a place at the table, whether it's here in Harrisburg or if it's in Delhi or Chisinau, Moldova, wherever it is, like that we couldn't have imagined how that work would remain true to the values, but also exceed our expectations. Much of our work, both here in the US as well as abroad, in Moldova, India, and all the other places that we've worked, has been to shine the light on people with developmental disability and their families and people with psychosocial disability and their families. So they don't get left behind in the movement, And I think that's always been a risk, and I think it continues to be a group of people that need to be promoted and supported to be included in the fight for justice, for a place at the table, for equality, and for their own rights to a good, full, meaningful, rich life. And that implies letting people have control over their lives, letting people experience the world and all the possibilities, and then make decisions about where their life is headed. Inclusion is about being with typical people in typical places, doing typical things in typical ways. And that kind of guidance has helped. We've always said we want to be small so that the people we serve can be big. And that remains a really hard balance, I think, for all service providers and all change agents to do. Advancing their lives, supporting them to live full lives, in many ways is a microcosm of trying to figure out how community and society can work for everybody. Increasingly, our services will shift from being a provider of services to being a facilitator of community. And I think that is a very powerful statement about our shifting role, in the lives of people with disability, in the communities in which we work, in the countries in which we work, is that the idea of facilitating people to lead full lives in the community is very exciting work, and it's work that we're well placed to do.
Life sharing to us is opening our home to individuals that can lead a meaningful life and be productive and learn to be independent. I saw what a difference it makes in somebody's life. I know it's certainly made a difference in mine.
I think they all come into the service wanting to help, but then once they realize how much they're learning from the individuals, as much as they're helping them learn and grow, that is the aha moment that I love to see in our providers.
Good life sharing provider, someone who has a lot of love, commitment, a lot of understanding, and a little patience.
We're really looking for that heart. That's the biggest component that we're looking for in a provider. They need to want to make a difference in someone's life. It is not just having someone come live with you. It's working on goals. It's making sure that everything, their supports are surrounding that person. Everything is person-centered.
They do have goals, and we do work on them. Sydney does volunteering. She enjoys going to the library, working on the computer, and she started exercise classes. She does Zumba.
I love going into the homes and seeing they're always included, even when they're not together, and just incorporating them, celebrating the milestones, the holidays. I just love seeing that.
Family.
Yeah, basically
that's what we are. We're family.
We are family. They're not treated any other way but family.
My name is Josh Rappaport. I am 36 years old. I enjoy listening to classical music. I also volunteer at the Harrisburg Symphony.
The volunteering at the HSO is wonderful for him. All the musicians know Josh. He's been going since he's 13 years old.
I work at Hershey Park. I've been working there for 9 years.
My role as part of the ACAP team is to, if someone needs any services relating to employment, whether it's finding employment or sustaining employment, my role is to help with whatever they need.
So they did job coaching. He worked in an office, and they were there with him probably at least for the first month, if not more, just being with him and training him and making sure that he did what he needed to do.
I enjoy my job. I like to make customers feel satisfied.
People that I work with will literally tell you, I love my job, I love being here, I love that I'm part of a community and that I'm a working member of society, and that's really exciting that people, have that opportunity.
ACAP was the one who coordinated it, the job training, the follow-up insofar as independent living skills.
He has help with jobs. He has all kinds of support, people who care about him, and I think that's a good thing.
Oh, they work with me on behavioral skills and life skills.
But my goals are for him to be happy and healthy and productive, and to have friends, and just what anybody would want with their children.
And we're so very happy that we have people who care about that.
Susquehanna Service Dogs has had our dogs coming into the Capital Area Head Start's classrooms for many, many years, and they were getting so much benefit out of it. We're like, this would be a great opportunity to have Rico work full-time at Head Start.
A good facility dog is one that would be great with all kinds of people, really social, really likes to motivate the individuals that they're around, really encourage, social behavior and communication, and just helping people feel comfortable. Both Russet and Rico know how to do pressure, so that's if you're sitting on the floor with your feet out in front of you, they will lay on top of your legs. They also know lap, which is if you're sitting in the chair, they will come up and put their two front paws on their lap.
Rico and Russet are very sensitive to the needs of the children, and Rico was visiting a classroom where a little boy had lost his father. And Rico stayed with that child, and that child just kept hugging him and saying, I love you. It was building that bond. It was also helping him through the struggle of the loss of his parent.
One way the dogs help with gross motor skills is playing ball outside. And we'll throw a ball. They run with the dog to get the ball, and then they're excited, and then they run back. And
in the fine motor, the children will draw pictures of the boys, and then they'll start writing the letters of their names for, Rico, R, Russet, and
children love to communicate with Rico and Russet. They can open up children who might not always be comfortable talking to grown-ups or their peers.
A lot of our children are dual language learners. We had one little girl, it was the spring at this point, she hardly talked in class. She was a huge fan of Russet. And I remember her bringing over and saying, here's your pretzel. And that's the first time I really heard her say even a statement.
We have facility dogs in a lot of different types of facilities, not just in the Head Start classroom. We have dogs in other classrooms throughout Pennsylvania. We also have dogs in courthouses. We also have dogs in hospitals. We just had our second dog placed with the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We have a few other hospitals on our waiting list to receive facility dogs to help with children that are receiving treatment in their facilities. And we see how well these dogs are working in the classrooms, and their children are doing amazing things, and grandchildren are doing amazing things as well.
Being respected, included, listened to, is very important. It gives people opportunity. Just because doesn't mean that because you have a disability, you can't have opportunities.
They want to be heard, their voice, give respect, inclusion. A great way of including is within the decision making. What do you want to do with your life? And how can I help you achieve that?
About listening to respect and how us as people could make it better.
It changes them a lot. They're opening up. They're seeing that they're not just stuck in one path. They can spread.
I'm actually glad and proud of myself because usually I don't speak up for myself, and now I'm starting to speak out and up for myself. We discuss like activities that we want to do. We've written to a lot of different people to see if they can help us.
They have a voice, challenging them to go beyond what they're capable of doing, to get the experience of, just going out in the community and just being a part of it. You have a voice. You're important. I want to know what's on your mind.